Hello and welcome to this episode where I've got an amazing guest today, Claire Clarke. I love her name, by the way, because of the alliteration in it. I just love alliteration. That's a natural writer in me. And speaking of writing, we are talking today about the power of branded planners, workbooks, and journals as a business growth tool. And what these do is they help you create another income stream for your business. So I'm really excited to talk about this. So before we do talk about it, Claire, do you want to explain who you are, what you do, and just reveal, introduce yourself.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you for having me on. It's lovely to chat. So I'm Claire Clarke. I help business owners elevate their brand and grow their business using planners, workbooks, and journals, or any kind of book that you write inside. I try to not get too caught up on what it actually, the title of it is. So any kind of book that you write inside, and then combining that with business strategy, so that when people create these, they're not just creating a stationery book, they're not just creating merchandise, they're not creating a vanity product, they're actually creating something that is intertwined with business strategy. So when people buy that book from them, they are led back into their world, so we can sell them, you can sell them your other stuff. You're a business owner, you're here to sell your stuff, right? So combining what is stationery and business strategy together creates a magical tool. Yeah, and that's what I'm going to tell you more about it today.
Yes, and I love it because I've just redone my planner, which is a lot better than last year's one. And something I did implement this year actually was what you talk about was a bit more of a strategy behind why I was doing it. And actually it shows the impact of that because I sold more this year than last year. So
Yeah.
woo! And everybody can do it too. So I'm excited. So how was it that you actually came to do this? I don't know this. I'm interested to know what got you here.
Okay.
Because I know what you do. I know about you. I've been on one of your master classes, which is amazing, by the way. But I'd love to know your story behind what got you here.
So, like many of you probably listening to this, if you a similar way that you've got into your own businesses is that I was solving a problem for myself. So I was actually running a business at the time where I was supporting other mums in a peer-to-peer support space. Um, I've always been into planners and stationery. I can make a planner sheet for anything anyway. So that was always been in my blood and in my veins. But I was running a support space for mums who felt a little bit lost. When your kids kind of like just start going back to school and you just start finding who you are again, and you don't know who you are and you're a brand new person, but you don't know who that is. So I'd gone through a personal journey myself, and decided to help other people. So I was sharing the things that had worked for me. And those things were things like gratitude and planning and prioritizing. So I was making all these planner sheets and I was making them as PDFs. And then I was either putting them in the Facebook group or emailing the people. And I don't know if you agree with me with this, Danny, but I've got a thing about home printers, right?
Yeah.
I'm just irritated even just saying it, because you get a home printer, you seem to print out 5 pages. You can tell in my voice I'm already angry with them. You print out 5 pages, the print quality is shocking, it's got lines down it, and then your printer says, I need more ink. And then you go to the shop and it's like 40 quid. You're like, the printer's only 25 quid. So I've got this thing about home. Don't ever ask me to print anything at home because I'm like pained by it. So because I've got this passionate detest for home printers, I'm like, why am I making people do the thing that I hate the most? I'm sending them all these sheets and saying, you're printing for home. So it's like, there must be a way that I can get these resources printed to people, but I didn't want to have to batch buy them. I didn't want to have to post them out. I didn't want to have to outlay hundreds and hundreds of pounds on books when, I was a developing business. I was changing things. I just didn't want to do that. So I was like, I'm like this. I'm a good troubleshooter. I'm like, give me a problem and I'll solve it. So I was like, there must be a way around it. And that's when I found the platform Amazon, with the Amazon KDP, where what you do is when you load the book onto Amazon as a digital file, it's not actually printed until someone comes along and buys it. So it meant that I could then load the books I was creating, make the worksheets into a book rather than just worksheets, put them onto Amazon. People could come and buy them themselves, or I could go in the back end and buy 1, 2, 3, 4 copies. You're not penalized for buying a small amount of copies either on the price. It's still low cost. So like, brilliant, I've got it. And so that's where I found the concept from. And then as I developed with my own business journey and I learned more about business, I then went, hang on a minute, there's something here in this. We can combine what I know about business, business growth, business strategy with these books. And I was actually on a course. I was on a course myself. And we were doing things around your social media and staying consistent with your content. So I thought, right, I'm going to make myself a worksheet to keep consistent with my social media. So as I made it, and then I went to send it to the dreaded home printer, I'm like, what am I doing? I can put this on Amazon KDP. So I created this social media content planner consistency thing. It's a bit naff, like it's your first one, it always is, right? And I made it for myself. And I just said to the people on the course, look, I've made this. If you want it, you can go and get it. Like, but that wasn't my agenda. So then a few people bought it. I was like, that felt nice. Did you buy my books? And then someone said to me, they said, like, you've made this as this. I'm a puppy dog trainer, like puppy owner trainer thing. Could you make a version of that for me? And I was like, yeah. And then someone else was like, hang on a minute, if you're doing that for her, can you do this for me? I help people rewrite their CVs. I help da. And I was like, there's something in this. So I thought, right, got some beta testers, ran with it, created these things, and it's just developed from there. And now there's a really strong side of it that is your business strategy, but it's all about you and what you do. It intertwines everything that you are. And then that's how I came here. So I started doing that as my thing, just coming up to COVID. And my plan was always to release a course, but I wanted to do more done for you first to get that, probably a mindset thing, to get that social proof, to get that, get the practice in. But then COVID happened. And like many people, lots of us kind of looked at our own businesses and went, how can we help others? And I thought, you know what, if I release a course now, I can help people create a really simple book that can bring them an income stream. So I actually ran the course sooner than I planned to, which is probably a good thing. Like I was more than capable. I was just like, like, oh, I'm not ready yet. And actually, you are. So that gave me the nudge. Pardon?
Just do the thing sometimes and it just works out.
Exactly. So that gave me the nudge, and then that's where the course started. So I now offer it as a full done for you service and a course. We're on like the 5th or 6th round of the course. The course has changed, it's developed. And so then and now I'm here. And so this is my thing. I eat, sleep, and breathe planners. I love it. And here we are now, chatting all about it.
I love that. And you know what? I relate to your story a lot because I did my first planner last year because I've always loved planning. I've always done sheets and things like that. But I'm a proper pen and paper girl and I love it. I mean, I do use a lot of little stuff for my business, but planning my week, I love writing it down. So last year I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a planner. And I did, but I used a company that prints it for you and then you could have it shipped direct to them, but I did it spiral bound and then that was more cost and then it was the cost was really high compared to Amazon.
Yeah.
Then the postage was really high as well. And like you could choose when you got it posted, but it was so expensive. And it was just like hardly any profit in it for me at all, and so time consuming to have to order. Whereas now I can do it in like seconds on Amazon.
Yeah.
And it's go quite well what I did last year. But I was like doing it all on my own, really frustrated with doing it. So like I'd say to anyone, if you want help setting up, go to someone like yourself because it's not easy when you're doing it for the first time. The tech is not easy. And once you get it and it clicks and it sticks like
And
you
if
can
you've
do it.
got somebody pointing out this and this and this and this, same as anything, right? You don't know what you don't know. But if you're sat next to someone that does know, whether virtually or physically, everything is so much easier, right?
And plus, when I did it, I did purchase a course on how to use KDP. But what happened was it was just a self-study thing. So I just was still kind of alone. And there was a certain issue. So I knew how to do it, but it was the sizing that was my issue when I was, like
Oh yeah, that
creating it.
comes up.
It comes up a lot, doesn't it? And the course that I purchased at the time didn't solve that problem. So essentially, I've wasted money. So I would recommend going with something like yours, where you've kind of got that more support, if that
Yeah,
makes sense. Because
yeah,
then you're actually going to be told how you need to do it for like your book, your planner, or whatever it is that you're creating. But
yeah,
it's a great idea, and I love it, and I love how many people I'm seeing doing it now. And I'm guessing
yeah,
that's because it's in the world
yeah,
educating us on how it can be a strategic tool. Which kind of brings me into why is it a good idea? And I guess the answer to that is just because it's a really good strategic tool. But I know that you brought me into a lot of awareness around this when I that sat on your masterclass in the Creative Business Academy that I run. And you talked about it as a lead magnet and everything, and my mind just went wow. And I came away and I had, like, I already knew how to do it, but I had like 5 more ideas of
Another
books.
level to it, right?
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
gave me so much inspiration. So like, let's backtrack a bit. Why is it a good idea to dive into doing this?
So like you said, when you first made it, you made a stationery book, didn't you? You made a planner, and then you're like, actually, let's look at this and let's make it a business tool and a planner combined in one. And that is when, in my opinion, that is when it's a good idea. If you are a business and you want to grow your business, you want to increase your visibility, you want to reach new people that you would not be able to reach otherwise. You want to draw people in. You want to warm them up quicker. You want them to feel more confident in buying from you. A planner or a journal structured in the way that I teach or do for you does that. And it means that you have got I love an analogy. So I like to see it as a cog within the rest of your business. It's not replacing anything else. I'm not saying, oh, go make a planner, you can stop posting on social media, or you can stop doing your email marketing. Still do all the things that you want to do, but it should connect like a cog with everything else you're doing. It's not a vanity product. It's not over here. It's not merchandise of a nice to have. And it works like a cog because as those cogs turn, it takes people from your book to wherever those other cogs are in your business. And we all know about touch points. We've got to have all of these touch points. We all know about visibility. We've got to have all of this visibility. And what happens when you have something physical come through the door of someone who is either a client, so they might buy from you again, or a potential client who is maybe a bit cold or a little bit warm? Well, if they've bought your planner, they're a little bit warm already, right? That planner is going to come through the letterbox and it is physically going to be with them. That visibility is not going to fall down a feed. It might fall off the table, but it's not going to fall down the feed. They're going to be opening that book probably every single day. They're going to be reminded of you every single day. Like, these are amazing touch points. They're keeping you front of mind. So if someone has bought something from you, let's say they've bought a sleep planner or a, I don't know, social media planner or whatever, and they're not ready to buy from you yet, but they're using your book. When they are ready to buy from you, not only will that book have helped them be ready to buy from you quicker, but who are they going to think of? Well, Danny's face is literally, on the back of this book. Her content is here. They're going to be thinking of you. Whereas if they'd had a touch point with you, let's say they'd been on a masterclass or something, that, oh, brilliant, Danny can help me with X, Y, Z. And then they go away and then there's nothing in the world to keep you connected to them. Let's hope you see my socials. Let's hope you see, let's hope you read my emails, but actually your book is there. They're not going to go, oh, actually that thing that Danny can help with, I've seen someone else can help me with it because I've forgotten about Danny because she's dropped off the feed. Facebook's decided not to show me Danny's post for whatever reason, because we know that happens. You just can't get forgotten when your book is there. I think also, and you touched on this at the beginning, there's something really powerful about the pen and paper. It's not going anywhere. We know that, I use Trello, I use Google, I use spreadsheets, I'm not totally paper, but I do still use paper planners and paper things, because when you use them, you have a different response, and we all learn differently. So if you are helping somebody understand something, it's your thing that you do, and they have a planner of yours, they're going to learn more about that thing. It's going to be more embedded within them. So again, that's a benefit where they're going to feel like, they're going to use your book and go, God, Danny does know what she's talking about because I've been using it and I've had some wins and I've learned stuff. I want more. Where can I find more? Where can I work with her? So that's where they come in, as being more than just a stationery tool, and not forgetting all the way through this, they've paid you for this. So they've paid you for a piece of marketing. They've paid you for a tool that is you warming them up to sell them your other stuff in a very, like, I can't think the word is. People aren't worried about buying a stationery product. People aren't intimidated by going onto Amazon and buying a book. It's very safe. It's very easy for people. So there's no barriers there. There's no like, oh, but if I sign up to this, are they go, if I respond to this, am I going to get a phone call? Am I going to get a push? You're not. They know what they're going to get. It's very predictable. Go on Amazon, the bank details are already in. 2 days later, the book's going to turn up and you're going to be on their desk.
Yeah, I love that. I agree with it so much because one example that I've experienced this year is like I've had people work with me, master classes, membership, mastermind, all sorts of different ways that I've, served my audience and they've paid me, but then they've not really shouted about it on social media. But as soon as a physical product comes through their door that I've created that they've ordered, the planner, they're sharing pictures of it on social media. And I guess that's the power of having something physical
Yeah.
in your hand from that person, because not every day people shout about the class that I've done, or I mean, sometimes they do, but not every day. Not without them asking anyway, without me asking.
Yeah, but but with a product, it's very easy to go, look what I've got, look what I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also it means they don't have to share their face, doesn't it? Because not everyone likes to share their face.
Yes, very true. Because especially in what I do, when it's very personal, I guess it is hard for them to share. And I can literally go onto social media and I see my pink and purple. Hello, Danny's planner's arrived, and I'm like, yes, yes,
Yeah.
I love it. So nice. It really is.
We love stuff
So
through the post, right? We love stuff through the post.
too, don't we? And it does it is a nice feeling. So if someone wanted to start implementing this to have it as a lead magnet or part of their strategy, where do you recommend that they get started?
Well, obviously come and see all my free stuff because that can help. The first thing is to think about what is the
You lost your train of thought now.
someone just delivered me a cake and I got confused.
It's all right. My doorbell rang a minute ago. Did you hear it? My husband's gone and got
Where to start? So the first thing to start is working out what your content could be. So I've got a free download that you can have where it helps you work out what's the start, what's the middle, what's the end, how does that flow, thinking about how you're going to structure that in your business. I am very much about, don't make this a waste of your time. Don't just make a nice to have product. Think about what it's going to do for your business, what the strategy is in your business, what do you want it to do for you? And you don't have to go like crazy about it. If you are currently growing a Facebook group, then that can be enough. How am I going to use this to leverage this to grow a Facebook group, and what you're going to do, and then intertwining that into it. One thing I want to make sure that you also do is it's all well and good creating this book, spending all that time making it and making it look amazing, and not telling people that it's there. You've got to tell people it's there. You've still got to promote it. So make sure you you put that into your, allow the time for that, allow the thought process for that. It's not, if you just make same with anything, just make a course, don't tell people about it. Just make a webinar, don't tell it. People aren't going to buy it if you don't tell them it's there. So yeah, so that's what I would do, is think about that, how that all fits, and then longer term it will be, it will always be there in the background. It's something that, it's not a launch and gone. It's not a all singing, all dancing and gone. It should be something that you are consistently talking about in the background, in between your other stuff. It should be something that you are consistently getting sales for, and getting leads then into your business. And also it's a long-term thing. Like, it's not just a one-off.
Absolutely. I love that. So if we want to come to get started and we want you to help, what way can we do that? What ways do you offer to help with that?
So at the moment, I do have a free Facebook group. Whether I'm keeping that or not is another story. So you can come into there and there's lots of videos and stuff in there, and I jump in there and talk about things. But if you wanted to, I've also got, and I can share the link with you. I've got a little get started video that takes you through step by step. And what you do is you listen to me with some instructions, then you pause it, you do a couple of things, then you listen again, and then you pause it, you do a thing and pause it. And it helps you just, if you just want to go, do you know what? I want to see if there's something in it that might work for me. That's a brilliant place to start, because when you've done that, you can go, actually, no, it's not for me. Or you can go, actually, do you know that there's not an idea in it that I like. It's just a kind of a taster. I love a taster. I love a cheese sample on the cheese counter, right? I like to sample the cheese before I buy a chunk. So if I like it, then surely other people do. So that's what I would go with. And that can give you an idea of if you wanted to carry on with it and go further. And if you did want to carry on with it and go further, you can come and do my course and you can learn how to do it yourself. Or you can be like, Claire, I don't want to do a course. Can you do it for me? And we do a full done for you service, and we'll take care of it all for you.
Amazing. I love that you offer both options that just suits everybody's needs. Some people do want to do it themselves. Other people want to do it so they can repeat it again next time. And I love that you offer both, which is amazing. What would be your top tips around doing this as part of your business overall? So whether it's planner, workbook, journal, what would be your top tips?
So my top tips would be is don't wing it and do it properly. So whether you work with me or work with somebody else, don't do a 1 day planner making course that is just about making a planner. Do a course or learn from somebody or work with somebody that's actually going to help you create the book and create it as a business growth tool that's got the strategy behind it. So definitely that. That's probably my main tip really, is just making sure, like, I'm big on not wasting time. I've got to think about, don't waste the time. Yeah, I just feel like if you're just going to do a little part of it, you're not going to get the bigger picture. So making sure it's intertwined with your business, definitely. And just remember to tell people you've got it for sale. That'll be the next thing.
I love that, and you know what? That just backs up what I say a lot, because I always say, don't wing it, have a plan. But also that in this fast-paced world these days, people do these, make a planner in an hour, which yeah, we can do, but don't forget there's a beginning, middle, and end. And if we just do the middle, which is the making of the planner, we're not going to get that consistent flow, like you say, with the leads coming in, where it takes them to, and all that. So we definitely need to do that.
And potentially
And
could potentially get stuck on the page sizing because you've not got anybody there to help you. You've not got anybody to reach out to. So on the course that we do, all the recordings are actually pre-recorded in bite-sized pieces. So you can watch a 5-minute, a 10-minute video. So you can just watch a little bit or you can binge. And then you get the live support sessions with me as well. So you get those as well. So you can come on and you can ask things. You get the community, you get other people that are making books at the same time, which is all, it's just nice to be part of something like that, isn't it? Because people get ideas off of each other as well while they're going through it.
yeah, I love that. And I think it's so powerful when we do that as well. Having worked with clients who have all like been at the same stage doing something and working on something, it is powerful to go through it with other people. So that's really good.
Yeah.
We kind of touched on this already, but if we want to come and stalk you and find out where you are, where can we find you?
So you can find me on most of the social channels at I am Claire Clarke. So Facebook is I am Claire Clarke. That's the main one I'm on. I've got a page and my personal profile. My website is I am Claire Clarke. I mean, it would have been Claire Clarke, but the domain was like £5,000. So I had to stick I am in front of it. That's literally the only reason why it says I am in front of it. So yeah, my website, you can see information about the services. On the website as well, there's also a gallery, so you can see past course participants' books, you can see past clients' books, and you can even flick through the pages and it makes a swish noise on the computer screen. So even if you just go to hear the swish noise, that's brilliant. But yeah, and then I'm on Instagram a little bit, and sometimes I'm on the tickety tockety, but mainly Facebook. Mainly Facebook.
I love that tickety tock.
Tickety tockety.
And the question I ask all my guests, because I've got to, what would be your biggest tip for being organised in your business?
The biggest tip for being organised is 2 things. One, brain dump. You've got to get out of your head. If it's all in your head, you can't think straight. But then when you've got all that brain dump, is then section it off and prioritize. What really needs to be done now? What can be outsourced? What can wait? What's the thing you made up that doesn't even need doing? Because sometimes you're like, why have you got that as a list? I don't even need to do that.
Yeah, we do.
I love a whiteboard for brain dumping because you can, I've got the cling. I don't know if you've seen the whiteboard cellophane that clings to the wall.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I've got it all over. I can't show you because it's podcast. But anyway, I love all that stuff. And if anytime I'm feeling like overwhelmed and I'm feeling like my productivity is going down, it's because I'm holding everything in my head. So definitely a massive brain dump, or call it brain vomit actually, which is a bit gross. Brain dump and then prioritize it out. Definitely.
Amazing. Thank you so much. This has been such a good episode. Thank you for taking your time to come and speak to me today and share this with my audience. Don't forget to go follow Claire, guys, and learn more about creating your own physical product, planner, journal, workbook, whatever it is, that's going to help your business grow even more. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers. Thank you.